had trust issues. When
it's hard not to after that shit.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Trust issues.
Wow.
And what was interesting, not with girls, with friends.
Dude, yeah. I'm the same way.
With my homies. And it sucks because it's not even the girls at this point, dude. Like, it even comes up still, you know, where it's like, somebody will come into my life and I get close to them, and it's like, man, like, can I really trust this person, you know? And
it sucks that it even has to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, where you have to like, man, can I trust this dude? Like,
for sure. And dude, I carried that like well into like my 20s, and it's like I realized like that I kept getting triggered by like certain events, you know, and it goes back to like what we were talking about earlier. It's like, yo, if you don't heal that shit's gonna come back, like it's gonna come back and haunt you.
Face that problem head on.
Yeah.
And like really try to seek to understand like your emotions behind it. So what happened with that relationship with those friends?
For sure. So dude, tons of lessons, man. You know, at that point I didn't know how to like set boundaries, which is such an important thing.
Boundaries.
And I probably stayed in that friend group longer than I should have, even after the event.
Did they know you found out?
I was naive. Yeah, dude.
Did they ever apologize?
Never.
That's what's fucked. Because like same shit's happened to me. Like kind of not to that degree, but like the people that do that shit like don't feel the need to apologize. Which maybe they think that like they just don't want to bring it up, so they're just not gonna say anything because they don't want to bring it to the surface again.
Never.
But like,
no. Or even like the girl. I'm sure she apologized like in the like at the time, but it's like I don't know. Like it's like there's apologies like in the moment or not. Like you weren't sorry if I wanted to find out. Like you know,
dude.
They're not like real.
I heard this fucking quote. And it was they weren't sorry when you didn't know.
100%. It's
just
so good.
It's just like fuck. Like,
Right.
Because it's so like it resonates so deep. You're like,
No.
damn. Like, dude, there's just like, I mean, what really healed me after I got like cheated on, manipulated, whatever, was just like, I understood that I wasn't entirely innocent either.
No.
Like, no one is entirely innocent. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there are people out there that don't deserve it.
For sure.
But
I didn't deserve it at the time. I was fucking 14.
Yeah.
I love this girl. Like, quote unquote, love this girl.
dude, I have a similar story. So by my freshman year of high school, it was the first time like I actually had like an intimate relationship with a girl. Where like I was like when you know you make that eye contact and you're like, like you're sitting there like, oh shit, like I'm a dog right now.
Yeah.
And then but she was dating someone who was like my old friend. But like him and I haven't talked for like 2-3 years at that time. So I'm like, all right, like whatever. So her and I like start talking about math homework and shit, and it just accelerated from there. And she ends up like breaks up with him, comes over to my house, stuff like. My first kiss was this girl. Like first kiss. I didn't have my first kiss till freshman year because I was super picky.
How old were you?
14, 15. Yeah, like
right.
young as fuck. It's crazy to think about. Wow, but yeah. So like, and then she's telling me she loves me and all this shit, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, yes, like yes. And then she starts texting me. She's like really confused about her feelings and shit. And then like I find out she's hanging out with her ex again, and I'm like heartbroken, bro. Like my mom always told me I was like super sensitive, like overly sensitive, because like I just care so much. And so I went like to the guidance counselor the next day. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I just don't know what to do. Like I was so like I literally had a friend.
She said, what do I do here?
I literally had a friend come into the guidance counselors with me, because I was just so like I had no idea because I was so new to those emotions. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? But I eventually got over it. But it was one of those things where like you can't shove your problems away. No. You literally can't shove them away, because then they'll just resurface and then it'll hit you like a truck again. So you have to be able to face them head on, because that's a race you'll never win if you try to run from them. So
for sure. And dude, like stories like yours, stories like mine, dude, like everybody has those stories. Everybody has those stories, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about this.
Really
you know, like I was actually with a friend before I came here, and we were talking about how like, man, like so many relationships are so surface level that you're not talking about this shit that's like really bothering you, and get like the shit that you want to talk about, you know.
Wow.
And it's like, even though you're like moving social and you have friends, it's like you don't feel like you're connecting.
Yeah, where you can open up to them.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's a nice transition into like talking about community and how you can heal through community, you know, because being able to have someone that you trust that you can actually
even
open
if it's just
up
one
to.
person, even if it's just one person, bro, and like you may not have one right now, but like just someone around you, man, just like slowly starts to just like open up to them, and then see how they react to you opening up, and then by you being vulnerable, people will be vulnerable with you. Like that's the whole reason like why I started being vulnerable on TikTok, because like if I show them these people that I'm not perfect, they will like resonate with that.
For sure.